Bonjour tout le monde, joyeux jeudi. Comme tu peux voir, je ne suis pas à l'école aujourd'hui, donc j'ai fait cette vidéo pour toi, pour vous, pour apprendre le plus que parfait. Donc, je vais changer en anglais pour bien expliquer. All right, so first I want you to take out those books we made on Friday and find the blue one that says le plus que parfait. Okay? In English, the word for this verb tense is the pluperfect. So it's kind of the same. Plus que parfait. All right? So let's take a look at these. And if you have a colored pencil or a highlighter, that would be super to get that because we're going to highlight a couple things and take note of a couple things. So, le plus que parfait. Actually, I'm going to do both. I'm going to get my pencil out as well. All right, the plus que parfait is constructed like the passé composé, okay? So it is like passé composé in that it is a past tense formulated verb construct. And it, just like in passé composé, we're either going to use avoir or être. And we're going to use avoir or être just like we did with passé composé. Être is going to be with the Dr. and Mrs. Vandertramp verbs, and avoir is with everything else. Okay, so just like get that kind of in your brain. It's in that sense, it's not much different. Okay, plus que parfait is constructed like passé composé, and then in that there are two parts, just like passé composé. Instead, though, where passé composé uses avoir conjugated and then the past participle, plus que parfait is a little bit different. First, let's jump down here and see what it means. Okay? So, it is used to describe events in the past that happened before an event described in either the passé composé or imparfait. Okay? So, basically, what this is, it's the past before the past. Okay, so that's the key. In English, it's the equivalent of us saying the helping verb had. Okay, so for example, the test was in the evening and I had studied all day. So here, this is the event that was in the passé composé or imparfait. This is in the past. The test was in the evening. So maybe it was like yesterday. And I had studied all day. So this person studied before the test, which was also in the past. Okay, does that make sense? This is the event. It's the past before the past. This is the past, and this happened before that. So then let's put this over here. L'examen était le soir. So the test was, here's imparfait, was in the evening, and I had studied all day, toute la journée. So I had studied. Okay, passé composé would just be I studied. But the plus que parfait is I had studied. Had studied, okay? So notice how this is formed. This part plus this part, two parts, just like passé composé, okay? But now the avoir is conjugated in the imperfect or the imparfait, all right? So let's go back up here. We take avoir or être, that's our first part, just like passé composé. And instead of conjugating it in the present, we conjugated it in the imparfait. Just like we did down here. Sorry, here. Conjugated it in the imparfait. Okay? And then, it's followed by the past participle, which is exactly the same as passé composé. Okay? We have the past participle, like, for example, the past participle of to watch, regarder, is regarder. Okay, so it's exactly the same. That never changes. So that's super nice because we already know these past participles. The past participle of dormir is dormi, so that stays the same. Okay, let's take a look at some of these examples. Dormir, to sleep. If you wanted to say, I had slept before I went to the store. Okay, so I went to the store was in the past, and I had slept before that. So it's something that happened in the past before the past. So we're going to conjugate it to j'avais dormi. Okay, because here, these are our imparfait conjugations for avoir. If you remember, avait, avait, avions, aviez, avez. Okay? Nous avions dormi, vous aviez dormi. This always stays the same. Same. All right? I'm actually going to highlight these. Tu avais. So these are always going to stay the same if you had done something. This right here is exactly like saying I had. I had, you had, she, he had, okay? We had, and then here is our past participle slept. I had slept. You had slept, okay? So that is what that is saying. We had. All right? Now, remember those Dr. and Mrs. Vandertram verbs, those verbs of movement, okay? For example, one of them is passer, which means to go by something, like je suis passé la maison de mon ami. I passed by my friend's house last night, okay? Then we do the same thing, except we have to use être. Remember, these are être verbs. Right? So if I just want to say yesterday I passed by my friend's house, I would say hier je suis passé la maison de mon ami. But if I want to say I had passed by, it would be conjugated like this with imparfait, and then the past participle is the same. Okay? So I had passed, you had, we had, you all had, they had. I had passed by. Okay? So honestly, the main thing you have to remember is that the plusque parfait is the past before the past. It is equivalent to English saying, I had done this before this happened. Okay? And we use the first part of the verb with imparfait. Okay? So now what I want you to do is I want you to go here into our chapter for grammaire, and for plusque parfait, we're going to say the past before another past event. Okay? The usage is to take avoir or être, depending on our verb, okay, plus, in the imparfait, plus the past participle, which is always the same no matter what verb tense we're using. It always stays the same. Okay, so maybe again we should put down those imparfait past participles for, let's do avoir. Let's see. So it would be j'avais, tu avais, il, elle avait, nous avions, vous aviez, ils, elles avaient. Okay? And then remember, plus the past participle, etc., etc. All right? This one. J'étais, nous étions, vous étiez, Il, elles étaient. And then plus the past participle. This is so easy to recognize, you guys. It's gonna become totally normal. So we're gonna practice this a lot over the next few chapters because it's a really great verb tense. It's used a lot, especially in literature. You can start using it more, and we will focus on that, okay? So what I want you to do today is I want you to see, well, I don't want you to see, you will. They're like everywhere in our text. So I want you to write down 4 examples from the text, and then on Monday, we will do some original examples. All right, bonne chance.